Hey friends, happy Wednesday. Welcome back. Tonight I'm going to try something a little different, so be sure to let me know if this is something you guys want to see more of or not. But tonight we're going to do mini readings on a couple cases that are in the media right now. These aren't going to be like deep dives or, well, I guess the intention is so that we can just cover more cases in the media that aren't necessarily a mystery or a puzzle, but just to pull energy together to see what comes out. And I think as a community, it's going to help us identify messages when we read on just the everyday case that isn't necessarily a huge unsolved mystery, like the Sebastian Rogers and Summer Wells and Karen Reeds. You know, those are very, like, you really need to dive into the energy to fully understand those. I kind of want to go more shallow in the reads, like the two that we're doing today, in terms of just pulling a couple cases that are in the media, whether a mystery or not, pulling energy. And then, of course, if it's not a mystery, the energy will show us, you know, what we're looking at, where we can apply the energy that we read to the actual case details and then be able to pull those clues and symbols and messages into other cases where we can say, okay, when we read on Martha's case, we saw this, and based on what ended up happening in that case, this is how this translated. So you can see we're reading on Giovanni and Martha. To be honest, I'm not sure Martha's last name. I just heard of this case tonight. And then Giovanni, I believe his last name is Pelletier, but I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. Again, I just stumbled across both of these cases tonight. Right now, they're currently unsolved in terms of, I believe both cases happened first week in August, and both are pending autopsy, toxicology, etc. So it is still slightly a mystery. However, based on the two cards I got in the middle of each of these, I do believe once they get back cause of death, toxicology, autopsy, do any sort of formal interviews, I feel like both of these will be brought to justice fairly soon, or at least information comes out that leads to either an arrest or a confirmed cause of death. So anyways, that's the idea, is just to do a quick mini read on the energies, whatever happens to be in the media. I say mini reads, I'm talking like 15 minutes each one. I've already started with the core cards for each case, because as I was watching the videos on these two cases, I watched one from Nancy Grace and one from Crime Weekly. So those are the two video sources that I have in terms of my information and knowledge about what happened. It was Crime Weekly, where I was watching the Giovanni's case, and the Nancy Grace, where she was reading on Martha. So in case you guys are wondering where I'm pulling my information, and so while I was watching those, I was flipping cards out while the video was playing, and I have a few other decks out here, and we're just going to expand on this energy because I wasn't sure if I was even going to do this video in terms of reading on these energies. You know, I wanted to see what the cards had to say, if there was any interest here, and based on the first 5 cards I got for each energy, I thought it was pretty interesting and at least pointed to some pretty obvious energy. So I kind of wanted to go over that with you guys, see your guys' thoughts, what you guys think on doing little mini reads on current cases in the media. And we're going to start with Giovanni. So Giovanni is the first 5 cards up there. The 2 middle cards are my gosh, it's so frustrating when I can't think of the freaking words I'm trying to say. Anyways, Giovanni's first 5 cards, Martha's first 5 cards, and then the energy that would apply to both. So like the shared energy between both cases. Anyways, I'm going to set these aside for just a minute so we can dive into Giovanni. So the cards that came out for him while I was listening to his case, we have King of Pentacles, but look at this guy. He's a hippie. Just looks like somebody who would be sitting there smoking weed, listening to music. I know the kids in the car, if you guys aren't familiar, I guess his relatives he had never met from his dad's side came to pick him up from a place in Florida, and he was picked up at 1:30 in the morning. There was 2 cousins and a third guy in the car, so there was 4 of them total. 2 he was related to, 1 stranger he didn't know. Supposedly the story is they were all smoking weed in the car, and Giovanni got paranoid, went crazy, pulled a knife on them. They flipped out, pulled on the side of the road, and kicked him out of the car. There are messages on his mom's phone at like 1 something in the morning, I think like 1:50 in the morning, saying help. He's trying to FaceTime his mom. He calls other relatives. He's asking for help, and then he's never heard of again. They found his belongings on the side of the road, and then they found him halfway submerged in a retention pond off of the freeway. So that's his story. We have the King of Pentacles here, which is showing me the energy of partaking in what they would tell the police is like smoking marijuana, which is crazy that would come out to clarify. And then we have the celebration. So this is like social circles, friends getting together, partying. This could be the energy of hanging out with friends, family members, smoking weed, listening to music, etc. There was 3 people in the car with Giovanni. So outside of Giovanni's energy, we have the 3 people here, the 2 cousins, and the third either a friend of theirs, or I don't know exactly who he was. But then here we have the devil show up. The devil. You know, weed is sometimes called the devil's lettuce, so that could also definitely be a reference there. But it's showing up as the devil within a group of people partaking in recreational drug use. And then we have transformation, which is the death card next to this devil, and then nothingness, which is going black. So we do see what could potentially be drug use, marijuana, partying with 3 other people, but I do see the devil here, which could also be drug use, which could also be devil's lettuce. But there was a death, and for Giovanni's case, obviously, you know, lights out. That's what I was getting with this nothingness card. It's like lights out. So it's interesting because I can read that devil card as something nefarious happening within this friends group, and then there's death and lights out, or it could just be they were recreational partying, smoking weed. This could talk about addiction, doing things you're not supposed to. A death happens, and then the people freak out and get rid of him. It could have just been a natural like overdose, or something was laced, or, you know, all those energies could apply. But, you know, until we clarify, which we're going to do now quickly, just pulling some quick energies to see if this was more accidental, or if somebody in that car with him did something to him, or if they literally just let him out, drove off, and he died some other way. You know, I mean, it is strange though that the kids told the mom something different and then told the cops something different. Another thing that's really strange is, why didn't Giovanni call the police? Like, if he thought he was really in trouble, he was calling his family members, texting them saying, please help me, trying to FaceTime them, reaching out for help to many people, but why not like call the cops? So that was interesting to me, unless he just didn't want to get his family in trouble, and he was more saying like, help me, like I'm not comfortable in this situation, I don't want to partake in the drugs that they're doing, I feel like I don't have the ability to say no. And he was more so just like calling for help, but not really knowing that he was about to need it, something like that. So let's clarify. We're going to use Edgar Allan Poe. Yeah, okay, I'm going to use Edgar Allan Poe. I'm going to get 5 more. Holy Spirit, tell us what happened to Giovanni. Ooh, 9 of Wands. He was injured. And there's that energy of the devil with this kid. This could be the retention pond. But definitely injured. Wow, okay. What happened to Giovanni? I'm just curious what that was. 5 of Wands, which is a battle. I know they say there was no obvious signs of like a fight or a struggle or that he was injured. 7 of Swords, but that's a lie. That's a downright lie. He was in some sort of altercation. If he was decomposed to the point that they can't even positively identify him, even though the mother is sure that that's him, how can they say that he wasn't punched in the face? If he's that decomposed that they can't even make, you know what I mean? There's the lie card right there. There's being wounded, and here's a freaking fight with this group of 3. Wow. So there definitely was a fight with these 3 guys. Can you clarify the devil for Giovanni's situation? Oh, there was one person in that car that wanted to help him. The Holy Spirit was just telling me, like, what I was hearing and feeling and seeing when I'm looking at this devil card that I'm clarifying. I'm not able to pull a card yet because I needed to see the full imagery here. There's a lion here who is tied up, who's looking at a fight that's going on, and he's unable to help or intervene, but he wants to. Like somebody in the car, whether it was one of the cousins or the friend, there was like one main aggressor, one person who was egging it on, and one person who really didn't want to see the situation play out, but it's like they didn't have the ability to help him, but they also didn't stop it. Now can we clarify the devil? Can you clarify the devil? Oh, the Hermit, yeah, watching and unable to do anything. There was like one lone person who probably could have helped or wanted to help and didn't. They kept quiet. They watched. They were an observer, but they didn't participate. The silent observer. Clarify the death card, please. Oh, man. Oh. The Tower with the Ace of Cups. I wonder if they were also like drinking lean. Or drinking and driving, drinking something that they mixed. I wonder if there was also like where he realized somebody driving was under the influence and then they were smoking and he could just tell being in the vehicle with them wasn't safe. This Death and Tower is crazy. But there is an energy with the cup. So we're going to clarify one more time with the mini deck here. Tower. Okay, let's get one for nothingness. Clarify nothingness. I'm seeing a laser light in my mind, like a laser beam that's darting around back and forth with laser light. I wonder if somebody was playing with a laser light. We have the Queen of Wands here, but what I was feeling from this energy with the Strength card is almost like Giovanni stepping forward and sending strength to his mom to get through this. Ugh, my mom heart hurts. Even having to think about that. I don't know, the energy I'm reading here definitely tells me that there was an altercation and nefarious things going on as it relates to the devil, the death card, that tower. This Nine of Wands is somebody who is injured or wounded. We do have a confrontation, an argument, or conflict here. And then the tower around a cup or consuming something. Or possibly the person who was the aggressor may have been on something other than weed, like lean or something like that. Like, for those of you who don't know, it's like promethazine and grape soda or some shit like that. Shoot, I don't even know. It's really expensive though, and it's really, really bad for you. I had a friend who, her boyfriend was like, oh, and then temperance flipped over. So like mixing. Yeah, like mixing things together in a cup. Yeah, like, interesting. Okay. I'm gonna get one clarifier here and then we're gonna jump over and do a quick read on Martha. And I'm so sorry, I will put her full name in the thumbnail when I actually get this uploaded, but right now I don't remember her last name. I'm so sorry. All right, Spirit, clarify Nine of Wands. Six of Swords. We have that King of Pentacles there, that male. The wounding while traveling. So this happened, I believe, still in the vehicle. There might be evidence to be found inside the vehicle, to be honest, because that is travel and wounding. So if he was like punched in the car or beat up in the car or something like that, I feel like there could possibly be evidence there, but it feels like that energy of while traveling. Clarify Three of Cups with Five of Wands. Queen of Swords? Why is there a queen coming through? Were they possibly traveling with a female that is like they're not saying they were traveling with a female, like she was there but they said it was just the three guys to like protect her? Is she the one that seen something and couldn't say anything because they're saying she wasn't with them? I don't know. Let me clarify. Queen of Wands, the Death card, Queen of Swords. Like maybe like if one of them was on the phone with their girlfriend on speakerphone on FaceTime, or there was a female in the car that wasn't known to the situation, if maybe he said something out of pocket, some guy got pissed off because he's maybe dabbling and mixing different things, and there was a fight that broke out that led to his death. King of Cups at the bottom. Yeah, the person who was either drinking in the car or drinking lean, feeling that strongly. Clarify the Devil and the Hermit. King of Wands just showed itself to me. Ooh, Seven of Cups. Could be the energy of overconsumption, drinking, drugs, partying, not being in a clear state of mind, confused, caught off guard, unable to make a decision, being in a dreamlike state. That could be paranoia, thinking something's happening that's not. Like, and there's the Hermit again. Something with the Hermit is important here. The Hermit just flipped over and we have the Hermit here. So like something in somebody's head, maybe they're saying he was acting paranoid and pulled a knife on them, and maybe this is actually what happened in the reverse. Somebody in the car was acting super paranoid, maybe like, oh, you tried to call my girlfriend, oh, you hitting on my girl, something like that, where like there's something to do with the female, drugs, being out of your mind. Or there's a female witness that comes forward who is either the girlfriend of one of these guys who says, oh, my boyfriend said he did this, and like a female comes forward who has information. Okay, clarify the Death card with the Tower and the Ace of Cups. Five of Wands, most definitely a confrontation here, a fight that broke out, a Tower, Ace of Cups, Death. We have Death over here with the Five of Wands. We have being wounded in the car with the group. He was definitely attacked. there was definitely a battle going on. All right, let me get one final card and we will wrap this up. We have the Nothingness and the Queen of Wands. King of Wands. Okay, so that's one of the guys' girlfriends. There's going to be information that comes forward. Either they're going to find out a female was traveling with them, or one of the girlfriends of the 3 gentlemen that were involved. Ew, they're not even gentlemen. I would say the 3 guys who were involved with Giovanni. I feel like one of the girlfriends either comes forward, has information, because here she's the Queen of Swords. She has knowledge. And then here, the Queen of Wands with the King of Wands. Like, she knows what happened, and there was a fight, and she probably knows why the fight broke out, and we'll have specific details. But I do also feel like the toxicology report will have some sort of either like mixing of substances or some sort of like cough syrup drink type energy along with smoking something or mixing something, whether it's like a liquid and marijuana or lacing the marijuana. It's going to be something like that. I do also think, though, there is that element of paranoia and an attack. I just don't necessarily know that really was on Giovanni's part. All right. Now we're going to jump over here and do a quick 10 to 15 minute read for Martha. She was on her boyfriend's yacht and was found deceased. And I guess the energy there is a man came out of his yacht screaming butt naked, "That's my girlfriend, that's my girlfriend." Again, here there was no obvious signs of a struggle. Apparently, that's the word. They're not giving up the name of the boyfriend. They do know that he's pretty wealthy. You know, you guys can, if you want, just for the sake of time, you guys can Google the case information if you're not already aware of what happened. But basically, they don't know if this was foul play, if she overdosed, if, you know, I really don't know exactly what they're saying happened, but they're saying there was like no clear signs, I'm guessing, of like, you know, she wasn't stabbed, she wasn't shot, she wasn't beat to death. So it must have been something that is harder to see upon just first stumbling upon her body. So again, we had the 8 of Wands and the Justice card for the energy for both cases. So I'm feeling like, again, some sort of message is coming forth in terms of finding justice for these people. There's information that will be found out and brought forth that leads to an arrest, or at least, like I said, gives information about a cause of death. To start off her energy, when I was watching Nancy Grace, the King and Queen of Pentacles came out, which confirms she was with her significant other, somebody she was dating, that is couple type of energy. Next, we have 10 of Swords with 7 of Cups, giving very similar energy to Giovanni in terms of this like 7 of Cups confusion energy, but this says pick your poison. And this is 10 of Swords. This is something that causes a death. And this figure right here is putting a knife in someone's heart. So possibly like either drugging somebody or injecting them with something that affects their heart. Possibly like a heart attack, whether it was caused by consuming something like poison. But definitely I'm feeling with her also, which is interesting that we're reading on these two together, and it's very similar energies coming out with like mixing things, drugs use, being drugged, or just not being in your right state of mind, or addictions, drinking, whatever. But again, the energy of death that's associated with possibly consuming something out of a cup. And here it's a skull as well. But then here there's like a pumpkin going into the cup. So maybe like a pill that was placed inside of a cup, or a poison that was put inside of a cup to cause like heart failure or something. So let's clarify the energy and see if we can find out if this was like an accidental overdose or if this was something the boyfriend did. All right, can we clarify the Queen of Pentacles that I am going to call Martha? 7 of Swords. She was tricked, or this was planned, or she lied. She was tricked. Did she lie? Was she hiding something? 10 of Pentacles for King of Pentacles, which is a wealthy man. Can you clarify 10 of Swords? look at these 3 cards. 3 of Cups. Okay, there's that energy of partying. Same 3 of Cups we had up there with Giovanni. A King of Swords. And the Hanged Man. Oh, 7 of Cups again is back here at the bottom. Possibly both cases had mixing of drugs, overconsumption, partying. Clarify 10 of Swords. This is accident or premeditated. 5 of Cups. A loss. Sadness. Maybe they didn't know what they were taking. Maybe they took certain drugs together or mixed them with wine or got a bad batch of something. Because the sadness over this 10 of Swords is not... I don't know. Clarify 7 of Cups is just not giving me... Well, I don't know. I won't say that yet. But 7 of Cups... I don't know. I know this might go against popular opinion, but at least what I'm seeing right here on this quick, well, until the 5 of Swords was at the bottom, it just initially isn't looking like he intended for this to happen. Because we have the King of Pentacles here. He's the King of Pentacles here with the 10 of Pentacles. He's showing up as super wealthy, affluent. He's showing up here as the same King of Pentacles, but in the 10 of Cups, it's showing me like he's happy with her. And then you see her ill, and the 2 of Pentacles could be mixing something. But then that 5 of Swords at the bottom is where I hesitate. So let's just keep going. Clarify 7 of Cups. Tower. Same position the Tower came in for Giovanni. Pick your poison. Yeah, like not realizing what you're consuming. Getting something on accident or accidentally mixing something like a Xanax with something, I don't know, like mixing possibly a pill with alcohol. Poison. Pick your poison. Or she was poisoned with a pill and alcohol. The Tower. Clarify the Ace of Cups. Nine of Swords. Anxiety, nightmares, fears. Anxiety medication? Mixing anxiety medication with alcohol or some other sort of drug, or either mixing like an anxiety type of medication with coke, with alcohol. Like there's some sort of like partying happening here, but then also this energy of like being tricked or being sold something. The Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, again, like pick your poison. It's this wheel. It's like spin the wheel to see what you get. Like you don't know what you're gonna get. It's like damn, I didn't see which one that was. Like Russian roulette. I think if she was taking any kind of pills, maybe she got a bad one. I don't know if this is like fentanyl, Xanax. I don't even know what's in Xanax, to be honest. All right, let's do a quick mini clarifier. Again, let me know if you guys like these random case mini reads. Let me know if you guys would like a deep dive on either of these cases where we try to channel them directly and see what they want to say about their own cases, and maybe we'll do a full hour reading if there's anything here that interests you. Spirit clarify Queen of Pentacles with 7 of Swords. Holy. 5 of Swords with 4 of Wands. That doesn't look good for old King of Pentacles right there. Ooh, and 7 of Wands, which is defensive. Defensive. Somebody picking a fight over the relationship. I need to be defensive. Oh, did he accuse her of cheating? That could be the cheating card. This is defending yourself. This is somebody betraying a happy home. Did he like read messages on her phone and accuse her of... Because this Eight of Wands up here with the Justice card, I'm wondering if she received a message that he overseen, like looked over her shoulder, seen a message, accused her of cheating, something like that, because that's how this is reading right here. The Queen of Pentacles with the Seven of Swords, Five of Swords, Four of Wands, and Seven of Wands is like defending yourself against somebody who's accusing you of cheating on them. Okay, King of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles. Clarify the energy of her boyfriend. Oh. Holy cow, guys. I shit you not. That is the Ten of Pentacles on the ground. Hang on. I don't know if I can get it. Damn it, I can't get it. But that was definitely the King, or that was either the Ace of Pentacles or the Ten of Pentacles. I had the treasure chest with all the pentacles in it. I guess if the Ten of Pentacles comes out, it was one of them. It was a big treasure chest overflowing with coins. So a lot of money here. King of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles. The Chariot. King of Swords. I wonder if he does anything in the automobile industry. I don't know why that came out. Or transport. The Hermit. The Emperor. Clarify Ten of Swords with Five of Cups. The Empress. The Death, the Loss, Sadness, Regret, Remorse, and the Empress. So again, this I would assume would be the energy of Martha. And it's sandwiching the energy of her boyfriend, is saying like an accusation of cheating, and then a betrayal, like feeling stabbed in the back. There's sadness, loss here of an Empress. Like did he feel stabbed in the back by her? Ooh, the Magician for pick your poison in the tower. He concocted something and gave it to her. He mixed it. Maybe intentionally, maybe unintentionally, but I think the Magician would definitely be a card of like mixing something. Or she did it. Who did it? Okay, we'll ask. In terms of this Magician, Tower, and pick your poison card, can you tell me? Ooh. Oh, I think they both did it. I think they did it together. I have the Ten of Cups, Queen of Cups, King of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, Death card, and Two of Pentacles. Okay, I'm going to ask again, but that felt to me like dual energy. Like they did it together. They didn't know. The Lovers with the Eight of Swords, they were really unaware of what they were mixing. There's that Two of Pentacles at the bottom again. They mixed it together, but they weren't aware of... Shit, I don't know. Okay, tell me who mixed the poison. Who is this Magician? Queen of Wands. She did. I literally just asked who mixed this. The Empress right here, like regret, mixing something, taking something, doing something she didn't know much about. Five of Cups, regretting it. She regrets taking this concoction. Like I literally feel this is her energy from the other side saying like, fuck, I fucked up. I shouldn't have mixed that. I should have known better. We got a new dealer. I shouldn't have trusted this guy, or should have known these two wouldn't work well together. But I just asked, and even when the cards flipped out, I was saying like, I'm getting the energy of like they both did this. They both mixed it. It was like a joint decision. And then asking again, like, who did this? Who is this Magician? And she comes out. The Queen of Wands. I have a huge deck in my hand. So many different cards could have came out. But we have literally a court card saying a queen mixed it. Okay, so now we have Ace of Cups with Nine of Swords. Clarify the Ace of Cups. Ten of Wands, burdens. Carrying the burden. Like, it's giving me like her soul is unsettled on the other side. Almost like the regret for doing this and leaving the way that she did is like heavy on her soul. Like she feels like she needs to, yeah, mixing something that she didn't know she was mixing. Holy shit, look at the bottom of this deck. Mixing something you weren't aware of, didn't know you were mixing, were unaware of the consequences. Ten of Swords, death. Interesting, guys. I'm going to leave that there. Let me know your thoughts. I would love to know what you guys think happened to both Giovanni and Martha. If you have already formed your opinion on what happened, or you want to see a deeper dive into either of these cases, please drop it in the comments. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe, all those good things. I love and appreciate you guys, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.